Yo, what is up, guys? Gravespire back here with another awesome video to tell you guys what's going on this week. It is Tuesday, the WoW weekly reset, and season 1 starts today, guys. Season 1 starts today. Whenever servers come up, estimated time is 2 p.m. EST, 11 a.m. Pacific time. But what we have this week, I'll run through it real quick. Then I got some things over here from Wowhead to kind of run through to give you guys a little bit of an update of some things. Again, I might miss things here and there, but for the most part, here's kind of the main things. So what we have this week, we have a couple of the same things from last week and the week before. We still have the weekly caches. Okay, so the weekly caches, I'll give you your 2 pieces, which those 2 pieces now are going to be upped on the veteran track. So they were in the adventurer track, and now they're upped on the veteran track. So they're worth doing even more now, which is great to hear. And then you'll get your 4 keys. So those keys are going to be vital. So make sure you do at least 4 of those caches on your main character, because you'll get those keys, the restored coffer keys, which you can use on the bountiful delves, which are going to be key. See what I did there this week. So make sure you guys do those. We have the spark weekly, just as always. So you'll get your 2nd spark now. So you'll get your 4th shard, but your 2nd whole spark. So you can make 2-handed weapons, or you can make 2 pieces of regular gear that require 1 spark. The new things that are coming this week, so we have, I'll kind of say them in order of how I'm going to kind of run these. Potentially, I don't know, we'll see how it plays out. But we have the world boss. That's going to be number 1. I mean, you can log in and go fight that thing right away. Everyone's going to be doing it, so it's a free champion piece of gear that it will have a chance of dropping. So get your lucks, get whatever you have that makes you lucky, and hold on to that tight, so you get some good stuff this week. LFR Wing 1 launches as well. That's just something you can queue up real quick, as well as obviously normal and heroic. It's deemed heroic week for that reason. So we have both, we have all LFR Wing 1, which kind of features the first 3 bosses, Olgrax, Bloodhound Horror, and I believe Sikran, and they drop some specific things, and I'll kind of show some of those things here. And you obviously, like I said, have normal and heroic to do. As well, M0s, we have mythic zeros, and those are now on a daily lockout, so you guys can do those every single day, and get veteran gear from those. They're fun to do, easy to do, and get those guys done. You just have to have a group for those. Delves up to tier 8, so we do have delves coming into play, and tier 8 are going to drop champion gear, so it's going to drop better gear, and the bountiful delves, by the way, than the M0s. So do those in whichever order you want, but you do need the keys for those. So those coffer keys are really important, especially this week, because it's going to be a great way to get gear. And you get 4 of those guys a day. Those reset daily as well. But of course you need the keys for those. And you also get the crests. So you'll get runed crests, runed harbinger crests, which are the 2nd to best crest in the game right now. So you'll get those guys from tier 8, so just spam tier 8s. Even after you're done, you can spam those guys and still get the crests for your weekly maximum. So if you guys need those still, do those. And then we'll of course have PvP season 1. So if you guys are PvPers, or if you want to delve into some PvP, see what I did there. Again, 2 for 1, 2 in 1 video. Get some PvP done. That'll be fun to do, because you can get conquest starting today, and start farming up to your 1600 rating to get your free tier piece. And 1600 isn't the worst thing to get to. I've done it maybe twice before, and I'm not a PvPer, so if I can do it, man, you guys got it. So yeah, so that's kind of what we see today. But over here on good old Wowhead, I got a couple different things to run through. So for the palace for raid finder, you'll need 567 eye level. So for normal, you'll probably need a little higher than that to get invited, right? Surely you could do it at this eye level or even lower. But this is what you'll need to queue up LFR. And then here's a few different things. Show some of the drops that you can get from there, and of course just getting that gear. But for today, for this wing, for this week, today/this week, here are the few things that are going to be dropped, some important things to note down. So a very rare drop necklace from Sikran, which is the 3rd boss in the wing. It's going to be a very rare drop. Lots of people, not everyone, but lots of classes need this necklace. It's really good. It has a special effect, and it gives some pretty good stats. Lots of haste and a little bit of mastery. Really good necklace. And then yeah, I was reading it to make sure that's exactly what it did. I said I saw mana, and I was like, what? But that's great. And then a leatherworking recipe. So for the recipes, make sure if you guys want these recipes, you have to be spec'd for LFR. You have to be spec'd into that profession in order to roll need on the drop. You can still roll greed, but anyone who has it, if they roll need, they're gonna get the highest roll. Okay, so this week it's gonna be leatherworking. If you don't use professions, just learn leatherworking for today, maybe, just so you can try to get a chance for the drop, and then you just turn around and sell it. because it's gonna sell for a lot. That is if it's a BOE, but it probably is, so you can probably sell that guy. Cool. There's a cool thing on WoW as well. It shows you all of the best in slot crafted gear right now that's been simmed, and it'll show you for your spec and your class what you can do there, and more than likely it's going to show you which piece to craft first. So it's worth checking out. If you already know what you want to craft, that's fine too, but if you don't have a clue, then hop on here. I'll post all these guys in the description below, because they're very helpful tools that I use every single day. And then we have good old what dungeons are going to be in the rotation. So this is a little new. The heroic and mythic dungeons have switched now, so the heroic dungeons are no longer all 8 war within dungeons. They're now going to be the rotation, the seasonal rotation dungeons. So even the heroic dungeons, not just the mythic dungeons, and as well as the mythic 0 dungeons. So the mythic 0 dungeons are also going to be these. So we have we have 4 of the dungeons that we have now. So we have Arakara, the Stone Vault, Dawnbreaker, City of Threads. We know those guys. Then we have Mists, if we're going back to Shadowlands, for 2 dungeons, Mists of Turn of Scythe and the Necrotic Wake. Siege of Borealis from Battle for Azeroth, and Grim Battle from Cataclysm. And this one has been revamped a little bit from what I've seen. And here's the little note that I mentioned earlier. Mythic Dungeons now on a daily lockout, which is huge. But I think that them being on a weekly lockout was kind of silly anyway. Mostly because, I mean, the M0, no one would want to farm M0s. People would just farm M2s, right? Mythic 2s for gear. But then being on a daily lockout means you can do them every single day, which is pretty awesome. I mean, you can spam Mythic Plus still, but this is nice because you can at least do them even more than before. And here's what they'll be dropping. So in the vault, you'll get veteran gear from the heroics and champion gear from the mythics, and then from the dungeon itself, you'll be getting these pieces of gear. You'll be getting some adventurer gear and veteran gear from the respective difficulties. So like I was saying earlier, delves, tier 8 delves, if you can do those guys, those are going to be your best way to gear this week. It's going to be tons of champion gear you'll be getting, and again, all those crests are going to be massive, the stockpile. And then finally, here are those professions that I was mentioning, but this is all the professions. So as we see, here's the leatherworking recipe we saw earlier. But then there's also a blacksmithing recipe from Nexus Princess Kaivesa, tailoring recipe from Rashanan. This one's going to be really good. I think will be worth a little more than some of these other ones. The enchanting recipe from Queen Ansurek, which is by far the best in slot for a lot of different classes. So it's going to be good to try to get a hold of this one. And again, you can even sell it for some money. And then a cool little recipe. I'm not sure what it does right now, but it says, here it actually says it down here. Be a kid again, and it has something to do with a young Nerubian. So I'm assuming you turn into a young spider, or a young child of your race, of whatever you are. So we'll see how that goes, but it's a goofy little item, a goofy little recipe that might sell for a little bit, but again, it's more silly than it is worth something. And then here are the other items that again I'll post in the description so you guys can read through those. But other than that, there might be some other things, but that's kind of the main thing to do this week. Gear up for your for raid, gear up for your Mythic Plus for next week, and do those bountiful delves every single day. Try to get them done. Do your world boss, that's once per week. And again, so many other things to do. I'm glad that we finally have a season where we're ready to do some stuff. We've had 2 weeks off, just kind of like normal, but now we have some things to look forward to. So I'm super excited for the season to start, and I hope you guys got some info out of this video. Until then, I'll see you guys next time. All right, deuces.